All right, so we have some pictures on the screen and then we have the words above, but they're a little small, but maybe you could make them out. But either way, we'll write them in below, right? So which one is baseball? And which one is volleyball? So we'll number them, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And as a topic, the big topic is deportes, right? Actually, los deportes, and this means sports, right? Right, so baseball is going to be baseball. Which one is baseball? Number 8. Hold on a second. No, 8 is basketball. So we have a different word for that. We're looking for baseball. That's the one with the bats. Fake cricket. Is it here? Is it not here? Oh, wait, it's the first one. That's a catches me. I thought this was some kind of tennis game, but now I'm looking at it properly. It's the first one, right? So el, base, accent on the E, ball, right? And el, voleibol. Right? So this one is volleyball. No, don't get too excited. Their presentation, we're not changing slides yet, right? Volleyball. Okay, the next one is what is badminton? I'm trying to figure out what the image is showing. What do you think the third image is? Is that badminton or is that something else? It's not quite tennis. Well, all right. Well, what about number 4? We'll come back to number 3. Yeah, it looks like tennis, but I think it's more badminton. What about number 4? What is number 4? All right, so baseball, volleyball. Number 4 is football, right? Football. So football, right? Or you call it soccer if you so choose. El hockey. All right. Swimming, la natation. All right, 7 is well, just now we saw different names for it. El judo, el karate, also los artes, martial arts, right? Marciales. Right? And then also we have el judo, we have el karate. All right, now we come to basketball. Now they have given us basketball in this worksheet, but we know another word for it, right? Don't we know baloncesto? Literally ball and basket. I hear what you're saying about number 3. It's just that the rackets, but maybe it's just my feeling eyesight. The rackets weren't looking like real rackets to me. They were looking, but okay, let's go with tennis because there isn't another one. So let's go back to, go back to 3 and put el tennis in here, right? All right, number 9. Number 9 is roller skating. So patinaje, skating. No, that would be number 12. Okay, they have given us andar in patineta, right? But you might also see patinaje, literally skating on wheels. Patinaje sobre ruedas. Right? And then over here will just be normal skating, patinaje. Okay, so this person is riding a bicycle. Ciclismo, cycling, right? What are these people doing here? Gymnastics. Gimnasia. All right, we have archery. Tiro al arco. All right, el esquí. So here we have mountain climbing, escalada de montaña. This will be la, right? And this is el buceo. Okay, so this might be a useful one given that you're living in a region where people could go diving, snorkeling. So if you're ever inviting someone to visit you or talking about things they will do when they visit you, that's a potential thing, right? All right. Are there other sports that you want to discuss that are not here? Badminton is badminton, right? Badminton. Or it could be all right, so there's badminton. Why aren't you selecting thing? All right. Right? And then also that sometimes it's called el juego de del volante, right? As you all pointed out, 3 is tennis because there's a ball, it doesn't have the birdie. So the game of the flying thing. Any other sports anybody takes part in you don't see it here? Nobody has said cricket. Cricket. Anything you watch on TV or online, but you don't see it here? El boxeo, boxing, all right. In the video just now they had la lucha for wrestling. We probably have wrestling fans here and nobody is saying anything. All right, but you asked about boxing, so el boxeo. Later in class, we'll go back to the video, probably after the break, and we will play it again, and any that we don't have, we will make a note of. So either you could leave space or just be prepared to start a new list. Right? One that I do remember the video had, is not here, sorry, is equitación, which is horse riding. Right? Okay, I'm gonna give you a minute again. I bet most people are almost done, if not done already. All right, track and field is el atletismo. All right, so now when we are conjugating AR verbs in the present tense, anytime we conjugate a verb, we have to think about the stem and we have to think about the ending, right? Like if you have a flower or a plant, perhaps. So this is the plant. That's the stem, right? And the ending is, well, today I'm going to make the ending the flower, right? Maybe the stem and the root could go together. And the flower on top might be different each time a flower grows. Right. So for AR verbs, so you could do what one student has already done and they've sent their answers, right? So, you know, if you are working faster than the rest of the class, you can go ahead and send the ones, just keep going through the sheet. I've sent you the link, right? Just make sure you give me the subject when you send your answer. So I can check it against the subject to know where you are, because I might be looking at a different screen, right? Okay, so the AR endings. So for AR verbs, how do we get a stem? So like for hablar. Guys, all right, so for present tense, AR, ER, and IR verbs, right? The stem is, you do remove the ending and you remove the AR, right? So to get the stem, remove AR, ER, or IR, right? And add, for you, for AR, we add O, for two, we add AS, for ale, usted, we add A, nosotros, we add AMOS, ellos, ellas, ustedes, we add AN, right? All right. Okay, so first sentence, yo conjugate hablar español con mis amigos. I speak Spanish with my friends. Two, you studied a lot for the exam. Maria dances at the party. Nosotros, we work on an important project. They sing in the choir at school. If anybody is confused or they're really clueless and they don't know the answer, you need to let me know, right? Okay, so yo hablo, tú estudias, María baila, nosotros trabajamos, ellos cantan, right? All right, now what are the endings with ER verbs? For the yo form again, and everybody was sent a yo answer, you could check again, right? We add O. For two, we add ES. For él, ella, ustedes, we add E. Nosotros, we add EMOS. Ellos, ellas, ustedes, we add EN. Right? And so while we're in topic, what do we do for IR verbs? So this was ER verbs. Again, for yo, we will add O. So note for all the yo forms, whether AR, ER, or IR, it's yo is always the ending. For two, we add. What do we add for two? For two, we add ES. Right? For él, ella, usted, we add E. For nosotros, we add IMOS. And for ellas, ustedes, ellos, ustedes, we add EN. So, you know, for IR verbs, the only actual I ending is the nosotros form, right? It also the vosotros form, but we don't teach that anymore. We don't do that anymore, right? Everything else follows the same pattern as the ER. Right? And as we just said, for all three of them, the yo form is O. All right. So I'm giving 1 minute. You didn't send an answer already, you could send one. And then we're going to correct both sets together. Okay. Yo como una ensalada saludable, if only, right? I ate a healthy salad. Two, bebes. And if you guys, if you think I made a mistake anywhere, let me know, right? As we are correcting, if you think I make a mistake on the screen, let me know. Bebes mucha agua después de hacer ejercicio. You drink a lot of water after exercising. Actually, we should add hacer ejercicio to our list of sports, huh? And also weightlifting. All right, we'll get to the other video. Mi hermano lee un libro interesante. So we've taken off the ER, the ER, the ER, and we add, I have a mistake with the yo form. This is como. I said it, but I wrote come, right? COMO. All right. Number 9, nosotros corremos. We run in the park on mornings. In the mornings. In the morning, yeah. Ustedes, so you are learning Spanish in school, aprenden. All right, let me make sure this corremos is legible. Corremos. Good. All right, let's look at the IR verbs. Yo escribo, again, it's just an O ending. Una carta a mi abuela. Tú vives, we add an ES, en una ciudad grande. Mi amigo abre la puerta para los invitados. My friend opens the door for the guests. We share the meal with our friends. So nosotros compartimos, right? There should be an S at the end here. The thing is blocking it, right? Ellos reciben, take off the ER, add the EN. Muchos regalos en Navidad. So they receive a lot of gifts at Christmas or during the Christmas season or at Christmas time. Okay, good. So no questions. This is the easiest part of the worksheet, right? All right, so can I move up? Can I clear the writing away and move up? All right, so we have about maybe 20 irregular verbs, right? So at this point, right, if you meet a verb that you don't know how to conjugate fully, then that has to be something that you note and you practice, right? All right, so we have ser. How do we conjugate ser in Spanish? In the present tense. Actually, for all of them, try and see if you could type the conjugation for all in the chat. One after the other. Yeah, since they are all different, you could leave off the subject. Just write the verb. The answers are slowing down. Okay, so soy, eres, es, somos, son. All right, so if we conjugate what we have, yo soy una persona muy trabajadora. I am a very hardworking person. Tú eres, right? And they could have left off the, they have to put the two so we know what to choose, but they could leave off the two and it would be eres mi mejor amigo. It's my best friend. You are my best friend, sorry. Él es muy alto y simpático. He's very tall and nice. So he'll reach things off the top shelf for you. Take him with you to the grocery store. Right, it would be nosotros somos, and it would be ellos, ellas, ustedes son, right? All right, next one is star. Can we remember how to conjugate is star? Star has a lot of accents, which you might not be able to put in the chat, but that's okay. When you're not sending the conjugation, if you could send it all in one message, that would be great. But for the sake of time, I might just reply to the last one you send, right? So if I reply to the last one, that means everything above it was fine. All right, so together, estoy, estás. So estoy, I am, estás, you are. Está, he, she, it is. Estamos, we are. That looks like estamos. Let me fix that. Estáis, which we don't do vosotros, so we'll leave that out, and están, right? So note that the yo form does not have an accent and the we form does not have an accent, but the other forms have accents on the E. Right? And that's so that you will say estás instead of estas. Está instead of esta. Okay, so then nosotros estamos en la biblioteca ahora. Tú estás cansado después del entrenamiento. Are you tired after training? After the training, mis padres, so they are on vacation in Mexico, están de vacaciones. All right. I'll just point out a couple grammar reminders, right? Ser for characteristics that do not change, for personality traits, character traits. And estar for temporary things like position, like feelings that will eventually change. You won't always be tired. And like what you are doing temporarily. It's kind of like place when you're on vacation. The temporary state that will end. If I wanted to say mis amigos, there's an extra special question. Y yo, let me see how many of you I can catch. Are on vacation. So I would say mis amigos y yo. What is the form of estar I would use? What is the form of estar I would use there? Mis amigos y yo. Yes, estamos is used for nosotros. So once I say my friends and I, that is nosotros because I am included. So it's we are on vacation. Right? All right, now we're going to ir. Best verb ever. One of the most useful verbs ever in Spanish. All right, so I go, voy. I'll come back to the same color. Look at that. Let's go green. Voy, I go. Vas, you go. Va, he, she, it, usted goes. Vamos, van. Vamos, we go. Van, they go. Right? Now, why is ir such a useful verb? Because remember, we could use it to talk about things in the future. So instead of saying I will learn to cook, you could say I am going to learn to cook. Right? Or instead of saying I will cook, I am going to cook. All right, so yo voy al gimnasio todos los días if only. I go to the gym every day. Tú vas a la fiesta esta noche. Are you going to the gym tonight? Mis amigos y yo, we are going to the cinema on weekends. So vamos. Well, we go to the cinema on weekends. In English, you have 3 ways to say the past tense. You can say I go, I do go, I am going. Right? And voy covers all of these. Now, it is possible to say I'm going a different way in Spanish, right? Like if you need to convey that you're doing it right this minute or right this second, right? But other than that, if it's just normal, I'm going to the movies on Saturdays, then all of this is conveyed by voy, right? And the same for any other first person or any other version of the present tense, right? It's one way in Spanish, but there are three versions of it in English. All right, so tener, hacer, and then decir. Tener and hacer are super important verbs as well, right? Because there are a lot of cool idiomatic expressions with them. And tener is one of the stem changing verbs. Right, so we'll just jump right in. I have tengo. You have, oops, that's tener, that's not tengo. Right, tengo. You have tienes. Usted has. Tiene. Nosotros tenemos. As with a lot of changes, we go back to the normal form in nosotros, right? And then ellos ustedes tienen. Okay, they have. All right, so yo tengo mucha tarea. Boy, I have a lot of work today. Maybe it's homework, maybe it's just things in the house. I don't know. Tú tienes hermanos o hermanas? Do you have brothers or sisters? Ellos, they have, tienen. Una casa muy grande. All right. So it's an ER verb, so it has the ER endings, right? The O, the ES, the EMOS, the EN. What is different about it is the tengo, the G in front of the O for the yo form, right? And then also the TIE, TIE, TIE. But that follows a rule, really, that's stem changes. So it's really the yo form that's irregular. And then similarly for hacer, it's the yo form that's irregular, right? So hago, haces, hace, hacemos, hacen, right? So it's just the yo form that's given some trouble. I have a yo tinga up here, don't I? This is supposed to be an O, but I just the curly line on top was a little too droopy. Tingo, right? Tinga would be if it was subjunctive. All right, and now down here the answers. So yo hago ejercicio en el parque. I exercise in the park. ¿Qué haces después de la escuela? What do you do after school? Nosotros hacemos la cena. We have dinner. No, sorry. We make dinner together every night. My God, that would be so great. Help in the kitchen. All right, decir and venir are stem changing. As we get lower in the list, I'm finding verbs that it turns out are a little tricky and we need to reinforce, right? But that makes sense. It's going from easy to hard. Well, not hard, just a little harder, a little more effort, right? All right, so let's look at this year. This year to say or to tell. Our first person form is Digo. So like Tango, like Ago, Digo. There's an extra G in your form for some reason, right? Digo. Now, this here is also stem changing. So actually, I'm going to go up here by Tener and put E to IE. And this here too is E to I, right? Dices, dice, decimos, so it goes back to E for the nosotros form, because that is a rule with stem changing verbs, dicen, right? So please make sure you write this down if you made any mistakes conjugating it. And veneer is similar, right? So veneer, let's find a different color for veneer. Pink. All right, so veneer is to come. Vengo. Vienes. Viene. Right? Venimos. Vienen. Right? So all these four on the screen, tener, hacer, decir, venir. The thing that's irregular about them is the yo form. And then after that, they have a stem change going on. So you could choose to learn it like, oh, the whole verb is irregular. Let me just memorize it because it's irregular. Or if you're skilled enough with stem changing and you feel comfortable enough, you could remember, okay, it's stem changing, E to IE or E to I. So I have to change the stems for the the AL stayed and the AOS AS stayed as well. All right, I'm gonna check the chat in a second. Let's put in the answers. Right, so decir yo digo la verdad siempre. I always tell the truth. Tú dices algo interesante en la reunión. You said something interesting in the meeting. Ellos dicen they told many entertaining stories, right? All right, yo vengo, I come. A la escuela early, I come to school early. Tú vienes, you are coming to the party tomorrow. And then nosotros venimos, right? The piece is down, the page is down a little bit. If I move it, everything will get shifted. So, but it's nosotros, right? All right, so please take your time and write out the conjugations for the regular verbs. These are important verbs, right? All right, so poner to put pongo, pones, pone, ponemos, ponen, right? You might know the form PON, but that is the to command form. So if you're telling your friend put something somewhere, you would say pon plus whatever the thing is you're telling them to put there, right? All right, so yo pongo los libros en la mesa, right? You might tell your friend, pon los libros en la mesa, put the books on the table, but that is what pon is. All right, donde, where do you have the key? Donde pones to, where did you put, sorry, not where do you have, where do you put the key? All right, ellos de, all right, so poner la mesa is an expression, which I think we've met before, but maybe it was the other class, right? To set the table. Which is something that we may not do a lot of when we have informal meals, but you know, to set the table is maybe you lay out a tablecloth, you put plates for the people who are going to eat, you put cutlery, you put glasses, and then the food comes to the table. All right, ellos ponen la mesa. So they set the table before dinner. All right, so today I want to get through in the worksheet up until the stem changing verbs, up to just before the stem changing verbs rather. And then next week we'll do those. And so we can do something else once we're done with this set. All right, now salir is another one with the irregular U form. Salgo. So salgo, then we go back to normal. Sales, tú sales. Ella, usted sale. Nosotros salimos. Ellos, ellas, ustedes salen. Right. Poder is stem changing. O to UE. Actually, I'm rethinking why I have this here. It's just a stem changing verb. So anyhow, puedo. It's not irregular in the present tense. Puedes. Puede. Yes, Saraya, that's correct. Oh, I left out, I didn't do the question, sorry. Because I got distracted by why I have this here and I don't have an answer. Anyway, podemos, pueden. It's an important verb to be able to. All right, so if I go back up to the questions that I skipped out here before, yo salgo, I go out with my friends, weekends, or on weekends, right? The salir is a very versatile verb. It means to leave a place, to leave a building. It means to go out of a building. It could mean to go out like on a date or, you know, socially. It could mean, yeah, that's about it. But that's a lot of different meanings for to go, right? A qué hora sales tú de tu casa? Nosotros salimos temprano. We left early, right? All right, yo no puedo. I cannot go see cinema today. Tú puedes. Can you help me with the task, with the homework, with the work? Ellos pueden. They can run very fast. Okay. All right, and querer to, why do I have this here? All right, E to IE it's stem changing, right? Well, at least we're revising stem changing one time. So quiero, I want, I love, right? Quieres, right? Quiere. Then we go to queremos, quiere. Right? So yo quiero, I want to learn to speak French. Tú quieres, do you want to go to the park later this afternoon? Not later, just this afternoon. My friends want to travel to Spain next year. They, so quieren. Right? Right. So the next one is dar. Dar has an irregular yo form, right? How do we say I give? I give. So dar is to give. How do we say I give? What's the yo form of the verb? Doi, right, good, doi. Okay, so doi, das, I don't know why that first D is capitalized, neither do I know why I wrote a Y. All right, doi, das, da, damos, dan. All right. There is, so, okay, it would be yo doi, right? It would be tu das. So I give gifts at Christmas. You give, you give me advice, un consejo, a piece of advice, right? And nosotros damos. We give thanks for the food, right? Let me see if I can move this up a little bit. All right, ver. Now, if we were conjugating ver according to normal rules, we would take off the er and we would add o and we get vo. So that is where the irregularity it is right? It's veo, ves. So I see veo. Two, you see ves. He, she, it, el, usted sees ve. We see vemos. No, no, we see is, yeah, we see is vemos. Past tense is vemos, okay? You see, they see, you plural, ustedes see, or ellos, ellas see, ven. Right? So yo veo, I see a movie on Saturdays. Clearly, I'm obsessed with movies. Tu ves, do you see well without your glasses? So ves bien sin gafas. Ellos ven el partido de fútbol en la televisión. So ven, right? They see the match, the football match on TV. Oír has an irregular first person as well. Oír to hear. All right, so I hear oigo. You hear oyes, oyes. He, she, it hears oye. Nosotros oímos. That one is fairly normal, right? And the last one, oyen. Ellos, ellas, ustedes oyen. So yo oigo, I hear music while I study. Oír to hear, to listen to. Well, escuchar really is to listen to. All right, I guess it's I hear music while I study. All right. Or is there, so do you hear this strange noise? Did you hear that? Do you hear that strange noise? Oh yes. To oh yes. Right? Nosotros oímos. We hear the rain fall through the night. And traer follows a similar sort of pattern. All right, so traigo, irregular first person. I bring traigo. You bring traes. He, she, it brings trae. Usted brings trae. Traemos, we bring. Nosotros traemos. Ellos, ellas, ustedes traen. Okay. So yo traigo. Tú trae. So I bring lunch from home. Traigo mi almuerzo de casa. Traes los documentos para la reunión. Did you bring the documents to the meeting? They bring. Ellos traen regalos. They bring gifts for the birthday. All right, so on the screen, for those people using the recording, we have some more sports to add to the list from the video that we looked at. I think it's a 7-minute, but the video itself is only 3 minutes, but the people who made it is 7-minute video. And we're looking at sports, deportes, on YouTube, right? So if you put in those words, you should be able to get the same video. And we got these additional ones, so you can add these to your list. And we had these questions to think about. ¿Cuál es tu deporte favorito? So to answer this question, just quickly, I'm going to give you the stats for the question. And then we'll wrap up because I'm looking at the time. Mi deporte favorito es, and you put whatever it is, and then a reason porque es muy divertido. And if the sport happens to be feminine, divertida, right? And then this would also, well, no, el deporte es favorito, so that would be fine, right? Good. This is ace, not say, sorry. All right, and do you play a sport? ¿Juegas un deporte? And some people told me, no juego un deporte. And you could say, porque no tengo, Lord, I'm ready, I'm tired too. No tengo tiempo libre. I don't have free time, right? Or you could say, I go to the gym. So no pero, or you could say I exercise. Hago ejercicio. Cada día, right? The goal is just to make it like a conversation. So you don't just say no, yes, that's the end of it. That's not conversational. That's just you're bothering me. Go away, right? Ah, yes, you can say the sport that you like is whatever. El deporte que me gusta es. Yes. That's that way you use a different construction, and that's impressive. All right, what else? If you do play a sport, si juego. Now, let's just point out this grammar rule. If you're saying you play the sport, like football, it's a plus el. So it'd be al football. So it's jugar a to play the sport, right? So I'm going to write that grammar rule down here. Okay, any questions about anything we've done today? The majority of our class we spent on sporting vocabulary. And then we revised present tense conjugation for verbs, regular verbs first, and then we started to work on irregular verbs. Next week, we continue with irregular verbs and get to stem changing verbs, verbs that have a change to their main parts when you conjugate them. Right? All right, so once you have the vocabulary you need to and possible answers to the questions, and if you don't have anything else to ask, you're free to log off, right? Enjoy the rest of your evening.